The Friday morning conversation with
Brothers Osborne.
What's up, fellas?
Ooh,
Howdy.
nice.
You guys good?
Oh, yeah. I like that.
I always like when people do live albums because I have so many questions. Because, by the way, today you can stream live at the Ryman, which is you guys go and do 3 nights at the Ryman, right?
Yeah.
Did you take the best songs from each of the 3, or did you just play one whole set and say this is the one?
It's mostly one night, but it was the last 2 nights. We didn't record the first night we were there. It was the...
Yeah, that's
I
right.
can't
Yeah,
remember.
we
Okay.
recorded night 2 and 3.
And most of it, I believe, is the third
night. Yeah.
And then there was a couple songs that were like, that does not sound good. So we took it from the first night.
Let me play a little bit. This is from the live record. Let me do a little bit of Stay a Little Longer here.
There we
Track
go.
11.
Give it one more call, so one more what you doing right now. So one more trip to my side of town, and you walk right in. So one more, here we go again. One more drink leads to another. You side
I like it when you can hear the crowd on live records.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Like, that's the difference. Really, for me, it's because it's definitely raw and not as produced. But if you wanted that, you go into a studio.
Yeah.
But I like hearing the crowd on live records.
Yeah, it's part of the energy.
We like hearing them too. Because we know they're listening. But the crowds, the 3 nights that we were there with the Ryman, they were really exceptional. We didn't really know what to expect. We had played the Ryman many times, but it was our first time ever headlining the Ryman, and the crowds were just awesome. They were really just over the top. There's a couple times where it sounds almost like they were. Like the audience was canned, and if it wasn't for them actually singing the lyrics, it would sound like we had brought in this audio just from another concert or something. It's just they were wild. The whole every night from start to finish, they were wild.
Were you tempted, because we did a live comedy record, we were tempted to turn the laughs up. I'm not going to lie to you. Were you tempted to turn up the audience a little bit in places?
Not really. It was actually loud the whole time. When we got the recordings back, I was kind of nervous. I was like, oh my God. I was thinking maybe we can just steal some applause from other songs and build something. But man, it was nuts. You know, for us, we're so locked in on stage. It's hard to really gauge what the audience is doing. But if you listen to just the audience mics, they're going nuts.
And I have been listening. I like live records. It's
Me
cool.
too, man.
Let me hear a little bit of Shoot Me Straight. Here we go. Song number 2 on is I like you hear the music different because the mix isn't the same. The tones aren't exactly the same as when you record in the studio.
Exactly.
Like
Yeah.
I can hear guitar riffs slightly different there than I could actually on the album version.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you kind of hear the songs a bit different too.
It definitely, singing too, there's some moments where you just have to kind of let go and let it be. There's some things where I listen to it and I'm like, man, that is really pitchy, but it's how it was. It's how it was live. And even listening to that, I'm like, man, we're rushing.
Yeah.
I listen to it now, I'm like, God, we're rushing through that section so fast.
We were too. We were talking about it before you guys came in. We were like, I'm going to play it and see if they notice what we noticed, which is they were going a little too fast. Brothers Osborne here. Again, records out today, live at the Ryman. And we've mentioned before on the show, TJ, that you and Amy live close to each other.
Yeah, we do.
And we had a whole story where her son ends up with a hat. Her son comes back to her house and she's like, I got a hat. And Amy's like, did you steal that from TJ? Or so
because sometimes his English is still, we're working on it. He's
No, I
learning.
think his
and
English is incredibly
It is, but
incredibly great. Yeah,
communication can be iffy.
I really,
and-
really love his accent. I love listening to him talk. There was one time he's like, hey, where's your other car? I'm like, well, I've got an old car here, like a vintage car, and I have my truck. And he goes, well, what happens? You need another car in case your truck breaks down. I'm like, I just love your thought process that I just need like 3 or 4 cars over here.
Yeah.
But he's every time I run into him, he's always just a big ball of energy, and he's always back there, either on his scooter. He loves that scooter going up and
No,
down.
he's always in
But
the
I saw this hat. We're playing Faster Horses in Michigan, and I stopped at this kind of antique mall. They had all this really cool stuff. And I saw this cowboy hat that was so cool, and it was a smaller size hat. I'm like, I need to buy this for someone. It's so cool. And then I'm like, I'm gonna buy this for Jefferson. So I
Stevenson.
or Stevenson, yeah.
Similar,
Sorry,
yeah.
It ends with son. So
Yeah, ends with
that's
son. No,
the
I
only
get it.
similarity.
Yeah.
and so you did buy that for
Stevenson.
him. You did buy that,
I
right?
did, yeah. I brought it back, and as soon as I saw him, at first I thought he might see it and be like, nah, I don't want that. But then when he put it on, he was like, can I have this? And I'm like, yeah, it's for you. It's yours.
Yeah. He said you
yeah.
gave it to him, and I thought, oh man, this is one of those things where he probably took it, and then TJ's so nice that he's like, okay, buddy. And then I was like, I'm gonna go ahead and return it. And so anyway, it was super thoughtful. Like, and you're always
you.
so kind to him, and
Yeah,
he always comes back with a little something.
Kid, yeah.
So sweet, thank you.
All right, brothers Osborne in studio now. John, what TV family would you say most resembles your real family?
Oh my God. I think Roseanne's a pretty good one. It's like
Roseanne, that's a good
Yeah,
pull.
I don't know why I went straight 90s, but I feel like that's a good bet just because, it's blue collar, it's working class, and it can also just fall apart at any moment. So that describes our family. And our mom is as sweet as they can get, but she can also rip into you like Roseanne Barr if it came down to it.
How is your mom?
She's good, man. She's good. She sends her love.
I love your mom.
I
love your whole family.
She loves you. That's how I realized. I saw her on y'all's street. She was like out on the porch or something, and I walked by, and she had questions about Bobby.
Oh my God!
And I was like,
yeah.
oh, I think maybe it was when you were on Dancing with the Stars. She wanted to make sure you knew she voted.
I
Yeah.
know. I listen. You guys, your family has a lot of personality.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoy
Yes,
it
they do.
on all sides.
We have the
do.
least amount of personality in our family by a
That is
long
the
shot.
truth. Yeah.
All right, name a set of brothers that are cooler than you.
Ooh.
Oh God, I don't know, a bunch of them.
Name
Bellamy
it.
Brothers, obviously.
The Bellamy
I
brothers.
don't know why the Bacon Brothers came to mind.
The Bacon Brothers.
That was really-
really bizarre. Brothers Johnson, remember those guys? That funk band? They were pretty cool.
The Allman Brothers.
The Allman Brothers. The actual Osborne brothers are cooler than we are.
The Wright brothers.
Yeah.
We're just
On the
naming.
right
Vince
We're just
the
naming
Airplane.
any brothers.
Did they have to
that
have
we can
brothers
think of.
in their name, or
No,
could it be like
just any brothers that are
Peyton and Eli Manning?
definitely
not
cooler.
cooler than me. They're not.
Oh, they're not cooler than you guys.
Yeah, they definitely are.
All right, rank these three siblings from who you'd want to go camping with the most to the least.
Okay.
TJ, I'll come to you. The Kardashians, the Baldwins, or the Olsons? Most to least.
Most.
That you'd let's go camping with.
Oh God, that's a really odd group of people. I would say probably I'm not a big Kardashians. I don't think I've ever watched an episode, and I always find it so ridiculous anytime I see any of it. It usually infuriates me to watch their show. But I think they would provide a lot of entertainment. So I'll just put the Kardashians first. Plus, being out camping with, shall I go any further? And the bald ones I'd probably put last. I like some of them, but I find a lot of them boring. Pretty
So
boring.
you would go Kardashians,
Olsen.
Olsen's.
Mary-Kate and Ashley, and then the Baldwins
Baldwins,
third.
yeah.
Interesting pick.
Alec Baldwin, though? Man, that's a
I
complete...
like Alec Baldwin, but the rest of them would just be like, I just want to talk to your
Just
brother.
drink your beer.
Yeah.
All right, Brothers Osborne here. The new album, Live at the Ryman. Here's some of It Ain't My Fault, the last track on the record. Hit me with that one.
It ain't my fault. I might have had a little fun, might have wrong, got done, but it ain't my fault.
So, in the live record, why did you guys not play your hit Snapback?
We did, but we just couldn't fit it on the record, We
you
just
ran
didn't-
out?
We didn't want to give them all the hits.
Okay. It's so funny to see all the bands get confused for each other because you guys in Old Dominion, it was happening, and
All
Florida
the time.
Georgia Line. But I
Yeah.
mean, it's just all of them are always being called somebody else.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
no.
God, I remember it was this past year at the Grammys. We were on the red carpet, and I think it was like Entertainment Tonight or something. They were like, underneath they said Old Dominion, and Old Dominion wasn't even there.
Yeah.
And we're like, and plus there's a
They didn't
it's a
confuse
big
you
group.
with each
There's two
other.
of
They
us.
weren't
And
even
then, so then someone was like, hey, you got it wrong. And then they fixed it, but they fixed it in Florida Georgia Line. Who were there? But I was like, oh my dear Lord.
They can send their checks to our house if
Yeah,
they'd
exactly.
like to. That would be awesome.
Has someone ever asked you guys a question that was clearly meant for another artist?
Yes. Yeah, that's happened several times.
That happened that same night, or it happened at one point. Someone at a red carpet.
It was at the ACMs,
At the
and
ACMs.
we were next to FGL. They were next in line, and this guy just gets us. He's like the local syndicate there, and he's like, he's clamoring, and he's like, guys, can I get you for just a second? And Ailey, our girl from the label's like, all right, you get him for 2 questions. And we come in, and he goes, so tell me about your record you can't say it ain't country. And we're like, well, that's not us, and that is your last question. See you later.
Oh, yeah.
And they were like, they're right next to us, they're right here. But yeah, I was like, I don't know whether to be embarrassed for you or for me.
I always just, if I get asked, because sometimes, well, first of all, I get Bobby Jones all the time. All the time.
Jones.
On national
Bobby
TV all the
Jones.
time.
Bobby
right?
Jones.
So
God.
much so that it's just
Our
a thing.
cousin's husband is named Bobby Jones.
Well, hopefully he gets Bobby Bones. Hopefully he gets the other side of it. And whenever on Idol, sometimes they'll ask me Seacrest questions if they're not, and they'll be like, so, and I just answer them. Once a guy took me to the set and thought I was Ryan Seacrest, and he was like, hey, I'm just a big fan. And then I felt pressure because he thought I was Seacrest, so I tipped him so heavily so it wouldn't get back that Seacrest was a bad tipper.
Oh, dude.
And then I told Ryan, I was like, dude, I just tipped the crap out of him for you.
Yeah, you owe me.
Now you owe me $100. Yeah.
Like, watch it.
He's like, no, actually, you owe me $5 now.
Yeah. 4 CMA nominations: Single of the Year, Burning Man, Vocal Duo of the Year, Musical Event of the Year, and Music Video of the Year. All you guys just keep racking them up, man.
I know, it's a good feeling. It's nice to wake up to that stuff. Also, these really off topic. These chairs are really nice in here.
They
I
are.
can't stop like touching them. That
Hey, now
that big money chair.
All right, that'll do it, folks. That'll wrap us up. Hey, listen, Brothers Osborne live at the Ryman. Now you got 12 songs. Probably know all of them if you're a fan, and if you don't, check them out. I love a live record. Why don't we go out on a little bit of? You know what reminds me of you guys is rum, because that was like when I first met you guys. You guys were coming in. And I've told the story before where I was at a radio convention in Chicago and they stopped the whole theater and 2 knuckleheads come out I'd never seen before. And they were like, hey guys, just pay them 5 minutes of your time. And you guys came out and played.
You know, we talked about that a lot back in the day years ago because that was a really amazing thing. And I'll just say it for your listeners. I know we've talked about it, but John and I did this really uncomfortable radio seminar. We had to go in the room and play in front of all these radio programmers. Some of them are in pop radio. Others in country and various other stations, and very few people listened or cared about it. We went up on stage, just Sean and I, and it was very, very nerve-wracking. And so we got up there and performed, and Bobby was one of the few people that actually was incredibly attentive and listened to the entire performance and was there from front to finish.
That's where we fell in love.
It made us feel good. Yeah, that's what it was.
Fell in love.
That's where we fell in love.
Before I play a bit of rum, here's the last thing. John, what's a piece of advice from an artist that has stayed with you the longest? Take us out on this question.
Oh, man. Work hard and be nice to people.
And who told you that?
Paul Franklin, the pedal steel guitar player. Yeah, work hard and be nice to people and everything will unfold. Strangely, I saw him just 2 nights ago because we were out at Chris Stapleton. That was 19 years ago, and I said, Paul, you don't remember me, but you told me a piece of advice 19 years ago to work hard and be nice to people, and I still apply that to this day.
When you guys were early on, did you guys ever think about naming yourself something else? Like, did you go, hey, we're going to be a band, we're brothers?
Oh, absolutely. It's so hard because nowadays, because of Facebook, every person who thinks of a band, a karaoke singer is like, well, this is the name of my karaoke guy. And it's really, really, really hard to come up with an original band name. We named ourselves Captain Kidd for a while, which is after a liquor store in our hometown in Deale, Maryland. And then there was a band randomly in Paris that started blowing up called Captain Kidd, which in hindsight, I'm glad we're not called Captain Kidd. But but you never know. I mean, it's literally out there. I mean, everything's out there. Coming up with an original name is pretty hard to do.
And there wasn't another brother. I know there was Osborne Brothers.
Well,
but there
that's
wasn't
the thing. We even took that, Osborne Brothers. We just flipped it around.
All right, Raymundo, play us some
That had been
rum.
taken.
Here they are.
In our toes in the water.
Record's out. It's a live record from Brothers Osborne. Check it out today. Go see them live. They're hitting the road with Chris Stapleton's All-American Roadshow Tour. Charleston, South Carolina, Virginia Beach, Greensboro, North Carolina, Peoria, Kansas City, Greenville, South Carolina, and Louisville, Kentucky. All of our places. We'll see you at CMAs, but I'll see you before then.
Yes, sir.
And you know I love you guys.
Love you,
Love you
buddy.
too, brother.
Good to see you.
Love
There
all
they
y'all.
are. Brothers Osborne. Captain Kidd. Captain Kidd. They're out of here, everybody.
Captain Kidd.